Israel's targeted assassination policy follows a ruthless principle. Once you're on the list, escape is nearly impossible. As the saying goes, when Israel is silent, it's not hesitating, it's aiming. So how can Iran strike back? Israel has reportedly eliminated the IRG commander, deputy commander, chief of staff, as well as the heads of Iran's army and air force. Tehran's top brass has been decimated in a single blow.
Prologue, context and background. On April 11, 2025, former U.S. President Donald Trump issued a stark ultimatum to Iran: agree to a nuclear weapons deal within 60 days or face military consequences. Today marks day 61. With negotiations having failed, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a swift and decisive military campaign that wiped out key components of Iran's nuclear weapons infrastructure, along with multiple senior military commanders and nuclear scientists. Analysts expect this strike to usher in a period of relative stability and security across the Middle East. This is viewed as a regional conflict, not the beginning of a third world war. With support from the United States, Israeli intelligence services demonstrated extraordinary precision and effectiveness. Many believe Iran will be left with no viable means to retaliate.
Trump reacts to Israel's strikes. We didn't strike, but Iran must return to the table. Following Israel's major airstrikes on Iranian targets, Fox News anchor Bret Baier conducted a phone interview with former U.S. President Donald Trump. Here are the key takeaways from Trump's remarks. Trump confirmed that he had prior knowledge of Israel's planned strikes and said he was not surprised. He stressed that the U.S. did not take part in any military action, but reiterated hope for a diplomatic resolution. Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, Trump stated. We want them back at the negotiating table. Let's see what happens. A few Iranian leaders won't be showing up again. This was a clear reference to top Iranian officials reportedly killed in the Israeli airstrikes.
Trump also revealed he had spoken multiple times in recent days with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He added that his administration had communicated with at least one key regional ally, signaling that while the U.S. was informed, it remained militarily uninvolved. U.S. Central Command CENTCOM has reportedly moved to high alert. If Iran retaliates, Trump warned, we will defend ourselves and Israel. He reiterated, I hope they choose to come back to the table. Sources within the administration confirmed that the U.S. has recently replenished Israel's Iron Dome interceptor missile supply as part of routine defense cooperation. Officials also confirmed that several high-ranking Iranian leaders were killed in the strikes. Trump concluded by restating, the U.S. military did not participate directly, but was fully briefed in advance and was not caught off guard.
Israel strikes Iran, a major escalation unfolds. Israel has launched attacks on Iran. According to CNN's report yesterday, Israel informed former U.S. President Donald Trump and received his approval before striking Iranian nuclear facilities. The operation is currently in its third wave, targeting radar installations and air defense systems. Iran has acknowledged that several commanders and nuclear scientists were martyred in the attacks. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that the strikes are aimed at dismantling Iran's nuclear program, ballistic missile infrastructure, and military capabilities. He declared that the operation would continue as long as necessary. Israel has urgently mobilized thousands of reservists. Al Jazeera, citing Israeli media and leaked sources, reported that the attacks also included assassination attempts on top IRGC leaders and strikes against senior military commanders, prominent academics, and nuclear scientists. Journalists described the offensive as massive in scale, not just targeting military facilities, but deliberately hitting key figures who might shape Iran's strategic response. Iranian Armed Forces spokesperson Jen Abulfazl Shakarki warned Israel and the United States will face severe retaliation. Around 3 a.m. local time on June 13th, multiple explosions between 6 and 9 were reported across Iranian urban areas. State TV confirmed that the Natanz nuclear facility was hit, showing footage of flames and thick smoke billowing from the site. Videos from Tehran residents captured ambulances rushing through neighborhoods known to house high-ranking military officials. Just hours ago, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social that he had instructed his administration to seek a diplomatic resolution with Iran. While he firmly opposes Iran acquiring nuclear weapons, he still hopes for negotiations. The U.S. maintains its preference for resolving the Iranian nuclear issue through diplomacy. The U.S. has begun evacuating non-essential diplomatic staff and military families from across the Middle East. The UK has issued warnings to commercial vessels operating in and around the Persian Gulf to remain alert. Clearly, Western officials are bracing for potential Iranian retaliation in response to Israel's strike on nuclear sites. 16 years after threatening military action, Israel has now acted. Much has changed since April, when Trump reportedly urged Netanyahu to delay strikes, arguing that negotiations were still the best way to prevent Iran from building a bomb. On Thursday, the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, officially reported that Iran had, for the first time in 2 decades, breached its nuclear obligations, further reinforcing international concerns. Tehran responded defiantly, announcing plans to construct a new uranium enrichment facility. In Israel's view, that statement alone may constitute a casus belli justification for war. Some hardliners in the Trump administration remain skeptical that Israeli airstrikes can fully destroy Iran's nuclear program. They warn that such action might accelerate Tehran's nuclear ambitions and risk igniting a broader regional conflict.
Meanwhile, Iran's proxies, including Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the Houthi movement in Yemen, have all suffered setbacks from Israel's recent strikes, diminishing Tehran's retaliatory capabilities. Iran's main deterrent force appears weakened.